And now we are so excited. We've been talking about this all morning for our next guest. He's a legendary writer, actor, and comedian, best known for Monty Python and the Holy Grail and A Fish Called Wanda.
His new book, Creativity, a short and cheerful guide, is encouraging people to find their creative selves. John Cleese is joining us now. John, good morning to you. We've got to say, we've been singing Always Look on the Bright Side of Life. It's the perfect song from Life of Brian, but for this moment in the pandemic as well, how are you using humor to help people through their anxiety?
I think it always helps to laugh. I was in Sarajevo 3 years ago for a film festival, and they told me that during the time, the 4 years when the Serbs were lobbing shells into their town at all times of the day and night, they used to go to underground garage that they had converted into a cinema, and they used to watch Monty Python stuff. And of course, nothing changed, nothing got better, but they came out feeling better. So there's no question that laughing just makes us feel better, and that's a good thing.
It absolutely does make us feel better. And okay, the ultimate comedic relief, as you just brought it up, Monty Python. It's been over 50 years. You've had reunions and remakes. Any plans to bring it back, a new iteration?
Well, not really, because Jones and Chapman are dead, so it's very unlikely, really, that we can
Are we supposed to laugh at that?
Oh, no.
And at least two of the others that don't look at all good to me. I don't think that Gilliam or Idle are going to be with us very long. And that leaves Palin and me. And what I'm hoping is that Michael dies first, because then I can tour the country as the one surviving Monty Python. In fact, I can call myself Monty Python, because I'll have no competitors. So that's my aim.
I feel like we shouldn't laugh at that, but it's really...
That would be his Holy Grail.
That is his Holy Grail.
My Holy Grail is to get rid of the lot of them. Yes.
You talk in your new book about creativity and how you come up with new ideas, saying it's less about work and more about play. Explain that to us.
Well, it's a very simple subject, but the best research ever done on it showed that the creative people were the ones who could play. And it didn't matter how intelligent and well-educated and smart and intellectual people were. If they didn't know how to play, they couldn't come up with anything new. And so I began to think these researchers described the play as childlike. And I thought, well, the nice thing about being a child is that you can play because your parents are looking after the shop, as we say in England. In other words, children don't have responsibilities that adults do. And what's so much harder as we get up, grow older, is that we have all these responsibilities and duties. And you can't be playful when you're surrounded by little tasks you have to do and things you have to carry in your mind. So you have to learn as an adult to be able to play again. And that means creating a space for yourself, no interruptions, absolutely uninterrupted for about an hour and a quarter, an hour and a half, and then just let the mind play around whatever subject you're trying to solve, you know? So that way you can play, but only if you get rid of real life for a temporary period.
So a lot of adults have forgotten how to play, and you just gave us some tips on how to do that. But how do we incorporate it into our daily lives? Is it something we do multiple times per day, part of our regular schedule and routine?
Well, I don't think we could do that, because one of the things that happens when you first stop is that for the first 15 minutes, you're worrying about all the things you should be doing, like calling Tom and buying a birthday present for the hamster and forgetting your wife's birthday, all that stuff. But it's like meditation, because after about 15 minutes, that stuff begins to settle, and then you can really start playing with ideas. But look, in the way we live now, it's terribly, terribly difficult to create a space like that, particularly if at work your boss does not agree with what I'm saying, because when Albert Einstein at Princeton used to sit at his desk with his feet on his desk, everyone knew he was working. Do you see what I mean? Because what he was doing was thinking. But if your boss doesn't understand this, he's not going to take it very well if you sit in a room for an hour on your own, just with a smile on your face, having fun with ideas. He's going to think that's slacky.
And real quick before we're out of time, you talk in the book about waiting until the last minute to make a decision. That sounds a little frustrating, like you're being indecisive, but you say that helps with creativity. How?
Well, I'll tell you exactly why, because when you have to make a decision is a real world decision. You might have to make a decision by 2 o'clock this afternoon. You might have to make a decision in October. But the point is, when you know when the decision has to be made, that's when you make the decision. Why make it before? First of all, because you might get new information. Well, everybody knows that. But more importantly, you will have more time to get better ideas. So people who act very, very quickly and take decisions before they need, it's out of an embarrassment that they might look indecisive. Well, it's a lot better to be decisive at the right time with better thoughts and better information than to rush the decision before you really had a chance to see if you can come up with a better decision.
That is some good advice,
Yeah.
John Cleese. Creativity, a short and cheerful guide is out tomorrow. Thank you so much for being with us.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.